Moore Realtors weekly St. Louis real estate market update. I'm Dennis Norman, one of the brokers at Moore, and if you'll give me a few minutes of your time, I'll bring you up to date on what's happening in the St. Louis housing market. Let's jump right in with the real estate news. Here are just a few of the headlines from this week from St. Louis's best local source of news and information on the St. Louis real estate market. That's stlouisrealestatenews.com. Stories this week included a report on home sales and prices. Both declined slightly in September after a pretty robust August. Our weekly St. Louis mortgage interest rate update from a local mortgage banker. Also with some information on first-time homebuyer mistakes and how to avoid them. Report on new home construction increasing slightly. However, unfortunately, it's still on pace for an absolute lowest year ever on record. And finally, another interesting article here with 5 tips on how to find rock bottom mortgage rates. Now let's jump into the market data for the week. Before I get into this, if you check this out every week or on a regular basis, be sure to be checking us out over the next couple of weeks. We've really been working hard, and we've got some great things coming that no one else in St. Louis has in terms of market data, and will really help you get your arms around just what's going on in this housing market and bring it down to subdivision level or whatever you want. But just stay tuned. So here for this week, and again, this is real-time market data. This is what's going on now in a volatile market like we're in and like we have been and like we're going to be for a long time. Stale market data doesn't mean squat to you. What does it matter to you? What happened 3 months ago? What matters today is what's happening today, what's going on with pricing and sales right now, this very moment. So this is our real-time market data. This is for the entire St. Louis metropolitan area, which encompasses several counties and reaches over into Illinois too, to some of the adjacent counties over there. Overall market this week, median home prices are at $182,806. That's homes on the market. Most expensive listing on the market right now is $7.2 million. Currently, the median asking price per foot is $104. And that is up slightly. Average days on market, 145 days. We've got 16,356 homes on the market currently. There's a bunch more data there. We can jump down to our market action index, and it is up to 13. We've seen a 12 down there for some time now. So a little bit of an increase. Again, a reminder on the market action index while I go to the history of it here. Shows where it's been the last 3 years. On the market action index, a perfectly balanced market would be a 30. The higher the index goes, up to a maximum of 60, the hotter the market is, more of a seller's market. The lower it goes, down closer to 0, the colder it is, more of a buyer's market. So at 13, this is a cold market. You see where it's been for the last 3 years since its inception there. And this is the median price trend for the St. Louis area. Again, what's been going on with home prices. The orange line is more of a longer-term look at it. It's a 90-day average, so that's more of a long-term trend. And we can see, this is for the past year, we can see in the past year it dipped down back in the winter, rose up to a peak in summer like you'd expect, and now is falling downward. However, I include this 7-day average too, the black line, because this one is much quicker to react to changes in the market, because it's just home prices for the past 7 days, and those a median determined from that. So we can see here, here's September 1st. We can see since September 1st, prices went up a little bit, then they dipped down for the next couple of weeks, but here for the past 2 or 3 weeks, they've been heading upward. Now they're tapering off a little bit, but we can see this trend is probably going to change. Even if the longer-term trend does not go up, it's probably going to flatten. So prices are maybe trying to find their bottom here. And now we're going to jump into data for zoom in on the St. Louis market. This is the core St. Louis market, the St. Louis 5-county area. What I include in this is the city of St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, and Franklin County. This first chart here, rather colorful one, shows the number of sales and average sales prices in these areas now, or for these areas combined. Now this is based on sold data, so now we've moved from current market data to sold, and this is over the past year. Blue bars represent the number of sales, and we can see the peak was back in June. August finished pretty strong, and September not so bad, a little bit behind August and May. Green line is the average sales price, and we can see average sales prices dipped as we went into fall, showing an average sales price of 150 something thousand. Number of sales for September, again in this 5-county area, looks like about 1,800. This next one shows the median home sale prices as far as the median number of days to sell. And this is over the past year for this 5-county area. The green line shows what homes actually sold for, the median price they sold for. Blue line represents the median number of days it took them to sell. And we can see the time that it took to sell a home dropped to a low, at least for the last 12 months, in May and June, when it dropped down to 60-something days here. But the days to sell have risen, or has risen, to a little over 80 days now, about 80 days for September. The prices, the green line, again, as we talked about before, that built and increased to a peak in July when median home sales prices hit about 140,000, dipped down to pretty well to about 120 in September, and now it's trending upwards slightly. This is this is an interesting chart. This is one that I always pause on every week and give a little sales pitch for our company, for more realtors. And but this shows the ratio of sales price to list price. So what a home sold for versus what it was listed for. And I look at it two ways. The blue line is the ratio of the sales price to the list price at the time of sale. The green line is the sales price, the ratio of the sales price to the list price at the time it hit the market. So this chart won't show you what your home is worth, or what homes are worth, but this shows how well priced the homes on the market are. So how realistic are sellers being, and more importantly, how good a job are the listing agents doing? How good a job are the listing agents doing at knowing the market and knowing what the house should be priced at, and then being able to sit down with that seller and have the tools and the information available, and be able to use that to show and explain to the seller where their home should be priced at. That's something we pride ourselves on at More Realtors. We've spent an enormous amount of time, and we spent a lot of money and effort on making sure we have market data that nobody else in St. Louis has, and that we have a unique ability to interpret it and present it so that it can be used for the benefit of the buyers, the sellers, and the investors we work with. And we share this information and train our agents. We also train and share this information with agents outside of our company, even, that have either a referral relationship or with us, or a part of our network. So this is important data, though, because what happens is in a market like today where home prices are falling, the last thing a seller wants to do is overprice their house. Granted, you don't want to underprice it either, and as everybody says, give it away. But you're certainly rewarded for coming out on the market priced accurately. And we can see here that with homes, we can see a blue line for the past years hovered around 96%. So homes are selling for about 96% of what they were currently listed at. That's not terrible. If this was a good market and everybody was doing their job right, that percentage there would probably be 98%, maybe 99%. That's not terrible. The one that is terrible is this green line. Homes are only selling for a peak over the last 12 months, about 92% of what they were originally listed for, and recently about 90%. That means the sellers, the listing agents, missed the mark by a bunch. And guess what? The damage that was done is not only did your house not sell when it came out on the market overpriced, but while you were sitting there waiting, it went down in value. We had one of our agents just had this is a real quick success story here. We took over a listing after it expired for a local bank. This was a higher end property, about a $400,000 property up in Northwest County. The bank had foreclosed on this property, a nice home, about a 6-year-old or 5-year-old home. Had foreclosed on it about 14 months before we got involved. They listed it with an agent that grossly overpriced it. The agent overpriced it based upon what it had sold for before, and what the bank wanted, and I'm, in the agent's defense, I'm sure the bank put a lot of pressure. What we did, I went in with the agent, helped him do a lot of research on this, and just showed exactly where this thing should be priced at, and not to give it away, but to put it down in a range where it would be competitive and actually have a chance at selling. And the banker didn't want to hear that, naturally, because it's not a pretty thing to hear, or comforting thing. And the price we were proposing it to get listed at was about 15 or almost 15, maybe almost 20% less than what they had it listed at. But we had the data to show them, and part of the data we had was from the same some of the same type of information I share here. We were able to show this banker that in his immediate area, the home prices from the time he foreclosed on that home and first put it on the market to what it was today, that the home prices had fallen, I think it was about 12%. And that was important. I think that was a real eye-opener. That helped that banker, that helped that seller see that he really hadn't done himself any favors by overpricing that. And that if he'd been more realistic and the agent would have done a better job of educating him 14 months ago, he would have sold it for less than what he was hoping to, but more than he's going to today. We got him to price it right, put it out on the market. It was in a market where there's not a whole lot of sales. I think about 2 in that price range in the prior 6 or 9 months. We got the house sold. We've got it under contract now, and it went under contract at a price that was within a couple of percent of what we listed at. So again, just further proof of how important it is to have this information and to know how to use it. And okay, let's go on here. Finally, this here is a chart that shows for the past 10 years what the median sales prices and list prices have been for the St. Louis, this 5-county area. We can see over the past 10 years, the blue line is, are you seeing, you might see those little pop-ups. I apologize if you're seeing my phone call come through, sorry. The blue line is median list prices, green line median sales prices. And we can see they peaked in 06 and they've been declining since. The actual sales prices, the green line now, if you draw a line over here, you can see we're about where we were back in 2002. You also see the gap widening here between list prices and sales prices. That's concerning. That, again, is showing me that that the homes that are hitting the market probably are not being priced appropriately. Okay, and that's just that's a quick, it's meant to be quick, that's a quick look at the overall market for the St. Louis area. We have a ton more information available and data specific to every market in this entire metropolitan area. We have market data by city, every one of the 91 municipalities in St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, everywhere. We've got it by zip code. Like I said, we've got some new stuff coming where you can just monitor what's going on in your subdivision. All this and a lot more is available at mo-re.com. That's mo, like Missouri-re.com. We've got charts and stats tables. You can subscribe to weekly reports to much more comprehensive than what I'm going over here to stay on top of it. Up here in the corner you see a little glimpse of our newsletter. We got a monthly newsletter that comes out that's got market data, some pretty charts and stuff, news, some helpful tips for buyers, sellers. You can sign up for that and get that via email monthly. You can sign up for that on mo-re.com. You can also sign up for the newsletter on stlouisrealestatenews.com. There's a box in the upper right hand corner. And there's my phone thing again. And finally, you can keep up with this. I don't know where you're watching this market update at. We publish it on stlouisrealestatenews.com. It's also on our website at mo-re.com. Or you can watch it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/more realtors, M-O-R-E, realtors. or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/morerealtors. Finally, you can get this via podcast from iTunes. Go to iTunes Store, search St. Louis Real Estate Market Update, look for a little familiar arch there, and click on that. You can subscribe and receive this by podcast. There's me, my partner John Williams, us and our team. We're here to help you. You can reach me directly at 314-332-1012, John at 314-414-4114. Either one of us at email, Dennis at or John at mo-re.com. And here's a little glimpse of, I said we've got market data for every market around, and you can see this is all real-time data. You can look up anywhere. Here's Hillsborough, what the median home prices are, how many homes are on the market, how many left the market last week, how many new ones are on the market, etc. Okay, there's the legal stuff, the CYA stuff from us. You can read that at your leisure. And until next week, that is it. God bless you, and I'll see you next week.